A leader to call for dialogue between the opposition leader Raila Odinga and President William Ruto. Under the National Council of Churches of Kenya (NCCK), the Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops (KCCB), and the Supreme Court of Kenya Muslims (SUPKEM) today convened a meeting at Ufungamano House to add their voice to the worsening situation in the nation. They urged the president to take decisive action to reverse Kenya's downward spiral and restore hope to its citizens. Miriam Kerubo with that story.
Speaking at the Fungamano House a day after their fellow religious leaders convened a similar meeting on the state of the nation in light of the anti-government protests called by the opposition, the various religious leaders joined their colleague in emphasizing the need for the President Ruto to adopt policies that could provide Kenyans with a renewed sense of hope and effectively address the prevailing economic challenge.
Your Excellency, the President Ruto and Honorable Odinga, we appeal to you both to stop cutting Kenya into two. Do not lead this country on a path of suicide.
They called upon the government to review and repeal the Finance Act of 2023 that is at the heart of the nationwide protest.
We urge you to lead your coalitions in engaging in bipartisan talks that are genuinely intended to finding a solution to the recruitment of commissioners for the Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission.
We have listened to Kenyans and recognized that our nation is headed in the wrong direction. It is the time for us to take our country back. We must not allow selfish interests of political leaders to destroy our homeland and push us into destitution. Since we are all hurting from the high cost of living, our best approach is to embrace non-violence as we demand for better laws and policies.
The religious leaders directed their appeal towards Azimio leader Raila Odinga, urging him to prioritize dialogue and consultations as a means to promote reconciliation within the country. They warned Odinga against resorting to collecting signatures to overthrow the government, highlighting the danger such action could entail.
Let us deliberately engage all public participation forums and opportunities, taking every chance to influence policy and decision-making processes. Let us stand up and speak up on matters that affect our lives. We should not leave the destiny of our children, mothers and fathers in the hands of politicians alone.
We therefore, as religious people, are calling all our men and women of faith, wherever you are, wherever we are, to dedicate these 3 weeks every day in the family. Kindly remember to pray for this country, my dear family members. Every religious man and woman, these 3 weeks we dedicate daily, even if it's an hour or half an hour. And more so on every weekend, those who pray, the Muslims on Fridays, those who pray on Saturday, the Sabbatos, those who pray on Sundays, the other rest of Christians, and all those who pray. Let's dedicate these 3 weeks.
In a unified voice, the religious leaders also called upon both the president and Odinga to refrain from decisions that could potentially divide the nation.
The tension, violence, and the shedding of blood is making the situation worse for the people of Kenya, rather than solving the problems they are struggling with. Indeed, the destruction of businesses, as well as public-private properties, is pushing the cost of living higher, not lower. We urge you to embrace dialogue and the consultations as a strategy for addressing grievances so as to promote reconciliation.
Reporting for Hope TV, my name is Miriam Kerubo.